Так. Ребятки, напишите, как там со звуком, спасибо. Получилось сегодня наконец на айтишку еще рестримчик сделать. Саша, привет. Як справи? Так, чип-чат. Не понял. Ага, ну ладно. Яка тут музыка у них? Такое, что-то непонятно.
You gotta know I'm all yours. But when I say what's that about, you start slurring your words. Tell me why you have to seem so distant when I'm holding you. Your fingertips are drifting away, and I fucking love how it hurts. Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me?
Женька, презентация будет идти 50-60 минут. Ну, во всяком случае, по-моему, так было заявлено. И привет. И плюс, вроде так в прошлом году было. Пропан, привет. Илья, витаю. Паша, салют. Какой больше всего ждешь? А здесь уже не ждешь. Здесь должны показать те, которые были до этого вообще все показаны. И будут каким-то образом, не знаю каким, выбираться топ. Вот будем смотреть, что они выберут. Будет любопытно глянуть.
Another feeling.
Yeah. Unknown brain. Marvin Divine. I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming, it's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
I know that I gotta stay away from all your games. Yeah, I know that I found somebody else to love me one day. You'll realize the grass ain't greener on the other side. No, you did me dirty for the last time, so now I gotta say goodbye.
Джокер, может быть, что-то еще интересное? Ну, для меня лично может быть что-то интересное, только если то, что я не видел, потому что, по большому счету, мы не все посмотрели. Я не домучил одну трансляцию в 4 часа дня. Первый раз, по-моему, во вторник или когда это было. Ну, короче, какой-то из дней. Потом были ряд презентаций, которые мы тоже пропустили, потому что смотреть бродкасты, это надо самому там быть. Так оно не очень интересно. Так, Хэппи, на что мы еще рассчитываем? Не на что, смотрим, что в топ войдет. Мне любопытно, что они засунут в него. А те, кто смотрит сейчас извините, я случайно нажал. С IT-каналах Human 20, напишите плюсик в чатик, пожалуйста. Если вам удобно сейчас.
Gotta stay away from all your games. Yeah, I know that I found somebody else to love me one day. You'll realize the grass ain't greener on the other side. You did me dirty for the last time, so now I gotta say
А, это не то. Так, Серега с айтишки вижу. Остальные малоактивны, да? Не, подожди, Сереж, пишешь, что ты не сайтист. Я вот зашел, по-моему. Human Vast. Там тебя нема. Human Vast Games. Ты с Human Vast Games написал канал. Так, ладно, это можно убирать. Десять минут. Оу. Да, я понял, ничего страшного. Надо третий монитор, блин, ставить. Я знал, что ты первый отреагируешь. Видишь, сработал. Ой.
Take me in small, breathe me in and let me go. Feeling the lumps inside you, and the blackened eyes make my way into your mind. Just to know what you knew.
Интересно работает алгоритм. Я запостил сегодня видос. Да, неважно. Запостил сегодня видос, да? Ну вот этот вот, типа, смешной. В инсте я опубликовал его первым. Он набрал 286 просмотров. Все. Ну, чуть-чуть дальше трех. В ТикТоке 875. В Инстаграме, в Ютубе уже что-то там 1000 с копейками. Шадо, привет.
Take me in small, breathe me in and let me go. Sink to your heart to find you. Open up your eyes till you're blinded by the lies. so you can see what you do. Restless every time we start looking as a
5 минут. А Килли, кстати, сегодня будет или нет?
paradise with honesty, babe.
1200.
Teardrops on the floor. The pain is over. Feel the darkness take control.
Что такое? Мгм. Я ТикТоком не пользуюсь, толку, если все грузят в инсту рилсы и в ютуб шорты. Ну, типа... Не знаю, что тебе надо сказать. Я, например, мне не нравились рилсы в ютубе. Ой, господи, в инстаграме сначала, а потом все по большому счету стало одно и то же самое. Что ТикТок, что инста, что ютуб. Единственное, что вот, ну, как раз тут раз слышали, типа разница непосредственно работы алгоритма. Не знаю в чем, просто факт. Что, типа, опубликовано почти плюс-минус все в одно время, а при этом YouTube вот сейчас хорошо подхватил видосик относительно инста и все остальное нет. Может быть, зависит еще от того... Хотя, блядь, не знаю. Вообще без понятия. Идентичное все. Ну, с другой стороны, это хорошо, что есть и там короткие видосы, возможно, заливать, потому что это дает возможность лучше развиваться. В свое время на игровой канал так многие люди подписались, особенно когда я про WoW начал делать, и многие люди в гильдию пришли непосредственно таким же образом, через короткие видосы, шортс, YouTube или же TikTok. Это круто. И классно, когда YouTube добавил эту функцию, и классно, когда они ее расширили, что до этого было до 1 минуты, теперь до 3. Это очень круто. Інста ВД все, що мені цікаво, TikTok все, що мені не цікаво, весело. Ні, не согласен з тобою, Олег. Все залежить від того, що ти в тіктоці будеш дивитися. Якщо ти подивишся, умовно, 3-4 відоси, які тобі цікаві, потім алгоритм підлаштовується під тебе. У мене так було і є. Я навіть для цього робив 2 аккаунти, можливо, навіть 3, щоб, умовно кажучи, на IT-каналі, аккаунті TikTok було одні теми відосів, в ігровому інші. Тобто воно працює. Та сама історія з Інстаграм і т.д. Там треба просто певну кількість відосів подивитись. Мене в цьому не переконати зворотні, тому що, ну, я вже довго цим користуюсь. Юра, салют. Юра Круча, якщо це Юра. Так, що тут таке діло? Так. All messages. Я через шорты YouTube про тебя узнал. Ну вот. Живой пример. С игрового, да, Жень? А что ты посмотрел, ты не помнишь? То есть, и интересно, ты посмотрел, типа, зашел на канал, посмотрел длинные видосики, подписался, или как это было? Это мне для статистики чисто своей. Если помнишь. Так, ну тут можно сворачиваться. Тут музычка прям слишком эпичная для получасового прослушивания. Эпичная, эпическая, эпичная. Сек. Для тех, кто смотрит сейчас видео на канале Human WASD, на IT-канале, запись не будет сохраняться. Кто захочет вдруг досмотреть, пересмотреть, то она будет на игровом Human WASD Games. Оттуда я не буду удалять. Но тех, кто на Human WASD Games смотрит в целом всегда, то подписывайтесь на Human WASD, на IT-канал. Все, погнали смотреть.
Салют, Дима. Ради чего зашел? My name is Jules Gill, and the rest of the FGS team is scurrying around the show floor as we speak to bring you some exclusive content that you'll see over the next hour or so. I'm talking hands-on fun with games that you desperately want to play, like Silk Song and Lego Batman, as well as games that you just need to know more about. And we've got exclusive developer interviews and some secret and special content planned along the way as well. In fact, why don't we kick things off with something very special indeed?
Не помню, что были шорты. Зашел на канал, посмотрел стрим по игру на какой-то красной планете с металлическими
One of the
растениями.
biggest talking points at this year's Gamescom was, of course, Resident Evil Requiem.
Красная планета с металлическими растениями.
The 15 to 20 minute demo, depending on how much time you spend noping out and standing in the safety of the opening room, begins with new protagonist Grace Ashcroft strapped to a hospital bed, upside down, and clearly not here of her own free will. Grace is a new character in the Resident Evil franchise, and unlike Leon Kennedy, Jill Valentine, or Ethan Winters, approaches the situations she finds herself in with a sense of trepidation. She's cautious and, thanks to her work as an FBI agent, leans on her skills of deduction and analysis rather than weapon handling. She can even trip and fall while running in certain panicked situations, if you're playing in third person, which definitely helps give you the feeling that you, as a player, and Grace
Да,
are both
кстати,
feeling the same
чтобы
things as
четко
you play
ощутить
through.
непосредственно
And that feeling is terrifying.
ее ужас, то есть от первого лица не всегда разумно играть.
You wake up in and through the only open door,
Вот сейчас
you
от
move
первого
into
играет.
the
Вот
hospital
тут круто от
corridors
первого
in a
играть.
search of a way out. It's here that the graphic fidelity really shines. This footage is captured on PlayStation 5, and the lighting and atmosphere is the best I've seen in a game in this generation. The sound design is also on point, from Grace's breathing to the dull hum of the hospital strip lights struggling to spark into life after you flick the switch.
Ну прикольно. Вот это от первого лица прям отлично играется.
Soon I'm presented with the first classic Resident Evil puzzle, a locked door that needs a key. Finding this key and opening the door will get you a lighter, which Grace can use to navigate through the pitch black rooms of the hospital ward.
Класс.
And this game
Погружение
is
от первого
dark,
лица прям вообще.
intentionally so. There are
Бомба.
periods where without the lighter you can't see anything, which plays into what I think is one of the key mechanics in the game, light versus dark, both metaphorically and in the very real sense. Creeping around another room to find the next item, a screwdriver, I get a first look at the game's monster.
Ну, если что, мы там
Much like
видели, в
Resi
принципе,
3's
все.
Nemesis, this creature
Но
is
без
big,
комментариев
slow,
разработчиков.
and ever present, in this section of the game at least. But unlike Nemesis, it has a serious weakness. Light.
Да, я так и знал, что Немезис здесь боится света.
Disappearing into the
Это
ceiling, you're
Nemesis.
left alone to complete the puzzle, but with the feeling that the monster could return at any time. You can even hear it from time to time stomping around the
Иногда
floor
можно его
above.
слышать
But it's the sections where it
сверху.
all goes quiet that the tension really ramps up, because you know it's just waiting for the right moment to burst through a door or drop down through a hole.
Очень интересно, а может ли внезапно свет потухнуть, и тогда это уже не сейф-рум.
The demo ends with Grace escaping into another part of the
Немезис в этот
hospital
раз
with the
такой
monster
жуткий,
in hot
конечно.
pursuit. It's not going to be the last time we see these two running around
Какая-то
dark
фасмофобия или
corridors together,
демонологist.
that's for
Круто.
sure. And it
Мне
wasn't
нравится.
mine either. I instantly went back to play it all again in third person. An option you can choose at any point in the game by accessing the menu and changing the camera setting. I guess it just means I'll be playing the game through twice when it launches on PlayStation 5, Xbox
Жалко,
Series
что, я
X
так
and
понимаю,
S,
нельзя
and
во
PC
время игры
on
прям
February
сразу
the
переключать
27th,
камеру.
2026.
Не в настройки, а вот просто вот горячими клавишами.
That was Resident Evil 9 Requiem. Up next, Nathan is going to summarize everything that
Изоляцию?
you
Какую
potentially
изоляцию?
missed in opening night live in just 2 minutes.
Gamescom 2025's opening night live, hosted by Sir Jeff.
Режим от первого лица в хоррорах — это баф на количество кирпичей. Да, первое лицо — это о VR, прикинь. Это вообще огонь.
It's slated for release
VR это
in
вообще
November
погружение
14th.
неимоверное.
Capcom followed with a chilling new look at Resident Evil 9 Requiem, where a phone call leads to a power cut, which leads to a robed man recreating his favourite moment from Manhunt. Oh, we're gonna get demonetized. Blood that. Thank you. Not long to wait until this entry launches, though. It comes out on the 27th of February next year. Onimusha, Way of the Sword, gave us another look at the revived samurai-style strategic combat, and Hollow Knight
Начало
Silk Song
срезика,
was
типа, в
once
этот раз будет не
again
скучно?
delayed. I'm kidding. I'm
Ну,
kidding.
не знаю.
2025
Ну, это ж
release date was
типа топ.
confirmed, and we were
Топ.
treated
Привет,
to
Саша,
some
еще
new
разочек.
footage, so it's all good.
Показывают все топ
Other
игры,
standouts
которые были уже
include Silent
презентованы.
Hill F,
Не знаю, как
Ninja
они топы
Gaiden
это
4, The
определяют.
Outer Worlds 2, Ghost of Yotai confirming a return of its co-op
Ну, сейчас
Legends
показывают реально все, что
multiplayer
очень
mode,
интересно
and the
лично
reveal of a
мне.
brand
Ну,
new
кроме
game
этого.
from the creator of Monkey Island, Death by Scroll.
Ну, это мое
Fallout
субъективное
Season 2
пристрастие
also teased its return,
к
this time New
непристрастию.
Vegas and a Death
Пикселек.
Claw. Finally.
Ну, тут даже вам этот фильм или сериал показывают.
But of course, Jeff always has one more thing up his sleeve, and this time it was a cinematic surprise in the form of a new Black Myth game to follow up 2024's Black Myth Wukong. Arguably the biggest surprise of the night, though, was LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight, an evolution of the series similar to the recent Skywalker saga that features an open-world Gotham, an Arkham-style combat overhaul, and a story that's set to incorporate key moments of Batman's cinematic history. Coming in 2026, it looks set to scratch that Arkham itch that your doctor says isn't a real medical condition. Yeah, I'll be the judge of that. But I tell you what, why don't we just cut to the chase and give you a hands-on with this bad boy? I'll pass over now to myself, live at the scene of the crime.
Кстати, всех, кто играли из знакомых вот в Лего, непосредственно Бэтмен и так далее, очень довольны оставались. But the aspect of the game that really shines like a bat signal in the sky is the deep love for Batman's history. So I could tell you what I thought of this game, right? But who cares? I liked it, it's really good, you should play it. How about instead I take you on a tour of some of the best Batman references I spotted? You want to get nuts?
Let's get nuts. I'm allergic to nuts.
The first thing I got to play was a section set in the open world of Gotham City, and what a beauty it was. Billboards for action news were plastered across buildings, identical to the ones in Batman 89. You can even see Vicky Vale and Alexander Knox are set to host GBC News, so we might see some more of them in the game too. On one rooftop I stumbled across a collectible rubber duck, which I'm pretty sure is a nod to the Penguin and his Duckmobile thing from Batman Returns. Speaking of Oswald Cobblepot, I also spotted a campaign poster that looked awfully similar to his Mayor Penguin posters. Then, during a street fight, I noticed posters warning of a cat burglar, hyping up Harvey Dent, promoting a quiz night hosted by everyone's least favourite trophy enthusiast, and even one poster advertising the services of a rat catcher. Yeah, you remember that guy? Then, as the camera whipped round, I caught a quick glance at some graffiti referencing the Court of Owls, the shadowy organisation who rule Gotham from the shadows and send the undead Talons to do their bidding. The next part of the demo, though, saw Batman and Gordon infiltrating Ace Chemicals to shut down the Red Hood gang, who were cooking up a new toxin to terrorise Gotham with. While the Red Hood has been a staple of Batman lore for a long time now, the Red Hood gang as a concept, and their leader being Red Hood 1, comes directly from Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo's Zero Year, where the duo reimagined Batman's origin for the new 52 year. When Red Hood showed off his toxin, it was in a bottle labelled Smilex, the laugh-inducing chemical favoured by Jack Nicholson's Joker.
With a new secret ingredient. Smiley. What is this?
Then the demo's explosive finale leaned heavily into Batman 89, recreating several iconic lines and visuals in glorious Lego form.
You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
But my absolute favourite deep cut, well, had to be this one. I accidentally knocked a Red Hood goon into a chemical vat, and he yelled,
"Oh no! It's boiling acid!"
Exactly like the panicked bank guard at the beginning of Batman Forever.
"Oh no! It's boiling acid!"
Прикольно.
"Oh, it's boiling acid!"
So there you have it. A deep
Короче,
dive
фанатам
into the
понравится.
Easter eggs of Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. Trust me, this game is shaping up to be more fun than a back credit card with no spending limit. And you can enjoy it when it releases in 2026.
That was Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. Up next, we are speaking to the one, the only, the legendary Randy Pitchford about Borderlands 4.
Да-да-да.
I'm Randy Pitchford. I am the founder of the Gearbox Entertainment Company, and I'm working on Borderlands 4. Borderlands, if you haven't heard about it, is fun. It's just, we sometimes don't care about the rules. We just care about joy, entertainment, surprise, delight, and just fun. And it's a shooter looter. And it's not just a shooter looter. We created the genre. And if you don't know what that is, it's sort of a blend between a first-person shooter and a role-playing game, where it's fun in the moment-to-moment, aiming and dodging and shooting and knocking targets down, but it's also fun in the long term, collecting loot, leveling up, becoming more powerful,
никогда в
developing
третий я так
skills
не
and
играл, в четвертый
capabilities,
интересно
and getting
попробовать.
to become a god in this world that we're in.
FGS составляющая, я так понял.
So Borderlands is the king of the looter shooters, but Borderlands 4 is really special. Not only have we gotten really, really good at making Borderlands games because we've been doing it for so long, making this, in my opinion, the greatest Borderlands game we've ever made, it's also kind of fresh. It does not depend upon any prior Borderlands experience. You see Borderlands 4 and you think, oh, do I have to catch up on the story? Absolutely not. Borderlands 4 takes place in an entirely new planet with entirely new characters.
Ну,
If
понятно,
you've
новые
played a
герои.
Borderlands game, you will find the connection. You will feel familiar, you'll feel comfortable, but you'll also feel the connection with the story. But if you've never played a Borderlands game before, it's the perfect jumping off point because it is a new setting, a new storyline, and new characters. I know for a fact that whenever we've made a numbered sequel for Borderlands, we get about 30% of our players are joining us for the first time. And so we knew that going into it. So we made Borderlands 4 to be the most inviting version of a new Borderlands game for new people.
Heard you were rounding up some vault hunters. Reporting for duty, boss.
With each game, we push boundaries, and we can see those times we've gone too far. Sometimes it's in a game mechanic, sometimes it's in a story decision or a tone decision. The fact that we're now in our 4th iteration means we've seen the extents, we've seen the boundaries, we've seen when we push the pendulum too far in one direction, too far in the other direction, and we know where the bullseye is. And that's, I think, to the benefit of all the gamers. One of the coolest things about Borderlands 4 is, I think technology, both our software technology and the hardware technology, has finally caught up to our ambition. In all of the previous Borderlands games, we've been constrained with load times. In Borderlands 4, the entire world is seamless. There's no load times. You can see a massive world, and you can explore that world, and you don't have to wait. With that comes all kinds of new design for environments, methods of traversal for getting around these different kinds of locations. Not only does it make the game feel more natural from what it always should have been, it led us to evolve design in mobility. When you digistruct in one of your personal vehicles and you hop on that thing and you're hauling ass across the world for miles and miles and miles without a load time, you just feel awesome. The fact that you can feel that freedom and that joy, it's just a beautiful thing. And that's kind of what drives us. That's why we love pushing boundaries and why I'm so grateful that technology finally has caught up to the ambition of Borderlands. Borderlands 4 is launching soon on September 12th. We're coming to Xbox, we're coming to PlayStation, we're coming to Windows PC, and not long after, we're also coming to Nintendo Switch 2. It's very, very exciting. Jump in, wish list now, pre-order now, get it. There's lots of goodies for you if you pre-order, so jump in.
Чувак такой позитивный, прикольно.
Thank you very much to Randy Pitchford for that amazing interview. Next up, we're about to go on stage and play Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Place your bets on
И это обычное издание. Делюкс 4300, Супер Делюкс 5600.
So I'm just going to say it. It's
Это что за цены такие?
That Sonic racing games aren't top-tier contenders. All-Star Racing Transformed was an utter banger, and Crossworlds really does carry over that same vibe and confident swagger. With blistering visuals and a whip-like speed, Crossworlds is a blast to play.
Это, я так понимаю, просто не оригинальная цена, да?
Here we are on the Sonic Racing Crossworlds booth here at Gamescom, and we are about to play it live in front of this
Да
massive
ну
stage. It's
нахрен,
going to be
какой
absolutely epic.
Я столько в нее не сыграю. А, 12 вересня. 12 сентября. Да ну нафиг, бля. 3 куска, 4 300, 5 600. Чего, бля? Тут... Это они на этот... По-моему... Подожди, а сколько Black Ops 7 стоит? Вот это тяжко. Black Ops 3 400 стоит. 4 700. 3 400 и 4 700. Не, ну борда Супер Делюкс, конечно, переплю, но опять 600. Ну это ни хера себе. Захід витратить все гроши на игры и почти звучать как-то... Да ну не, ну вы шо, это уже безумие какое-то, такие цены. Ну прям совсем безумие. Я лучше куплю Lords of the Fallen, Cinder City, Silent Hill F, Kronos, WoW Midnight подписку, может быть Project Spectrum, Ghost of Yetei, Resident Evil Requiem, John Quee, Black Mist, ну типа what the fuck. Новый Black Mist, конечно, видел. Я же презентацию смотрел. Так, это у нас что? Я чуть-чуть пропустил. Ну это не Кронос же, по-моему, да? От первого лица что-то.
So I grew up basically next to a VHS store. As a kid, I basically had full access to horror, all the horror I want. So I was watching Alien, 2001, all that stuff, right? And the thing that really stuck with me was the tone.
А, это там, где робот, по-моему, преследует.
Being lost in those worlds, and fast forward many, many years, I just really wanted to get stuck in. The moon was a very curious setting for me. I was just wanted to see what it'd be like to explore that area, as if it was, you know, a piece of media from the 80s. And what they thought the future would
Вон, можно
like.
DLC Steel Wake за дип купить. У меня на со скидкой 202 дил.
So the player is a software engineer. They arrive on the moon base to essentially fix a anomaly with the moon base's automated security network. When they arrive, people aren't really there to greet them.
Но они вообще не выкупают. Это неподъемные цены для Украины вообще. Средняя зарплата по Украине, по Киеву 25 тысяч. Они хотят, чтобы ты игру за 3-5-6 тысяч купил. Вообще с ума сошли, что ли?
You have a tool, which is a multi-purpose tool. We didn't want to create lots of different tools like weapons that had one function. It was the idea of creating a piece of hardware that felt like a piece of hardware. It would help you solve puzzles. It will help save your data as you progress. So you have to find in-world projections that you connect your cat to, which is what the name of the tool is called. So it's called the CAT, and it stands for Cosmonaut Assistance Tool. With that, you can connect to projectors in the world, which display your
салют. Да, тут зараз топ-топ демонструють. Зараз демонструють абсолютно все, що цікаво. Ну, мені точно.
CAT is definitely something that you have to manage, like a lot of hardware from the 80s. Things like batteries, different value depending on which function you're using. Like with the defense, will take a lot more battery.
Ну, я думаю, у тебя даже будет очень большой запас, чтобы видеокарту поставить. Но я 30-линейку сейчас уже не брал. Или 40, или 50.
So it's kind of like an environment hazard without hurting the player. The next thing I would say is the AI and how the player can kind of interact with them. So horror generally can be split in two ways. You have horror that is more focused on combat, and horror that is strictly just, there's no combat, it's more psychological. We kind of fit in the middle a little bit. Defense with the cat is kind of an option, but it won't give you a lot of power. It will help you evade, help you survive, but it's definitely not a weapon that you're going to cause destruction with, that's for sure. Probably seen a few times in the trailer, there's a robotic threat. That is the one we're very
Подожди, не понял, так а ты какой прос сейчас имеешь? Вот интересно в этом проекте какой лор. Что выглядит очень интересно, но типа суть непонятна. Для 360 нужен только 99-50 SSD. Ага, очень смешно. На PlayStation 5 450. Да нет, подожди, чё? Так, как routine? Я, по-моему, его добавлял избранное.
Next up, we are off to an undisclosed location to talk about the mysterious new project from Zaum Studios. That's right, it's time to talk about Zero Parades.
Routine.
Brilliant. Relentless. This is a very exciting time at our studio. We just announced Zero Parades, our new game at opening night live. Zero Parades is an espionage CRPG that takes heavy inspiration from both espionage fiction and weird sci-fi. So it's a highly paranoia-drenched experience where you get to experience metaphysical horror and miracles.
400 гривен подписка GFN.
The protagonist of Zero Parades is a spy
Я забыл, что GFN, напомни мне.
named Herschel. Herschel, at the end of the day, is not a pleasant
Блин,
person to
вылетел
be
за
around.
прикинь.
She's brilliant in her own way, but also
Выглядит
deeply
обещающе,
flawed,
напоминает немного чужого.
deeply
Да.
weird,
Они же
has
сказали,
her
что они
strange
надыхались
obsessions that
этой
kind of
игрой.
contradict whatever it is that she needs to accomplish.
Потому оно и похоже.
As a spy in theater, all of the people in her life that have placed their trust in her have been burnt painfully and traumatically, and Herschel as well. You know, she's a deeply traumatized individual. What happens if the very people that you need to pull off your mission are the ones that you betrayed so horrendously in the recent past?
GeForce
that
Now,
they're
все,
either
вспомнил.
dead or completely unwilling to even speak with you. What happens
Я
if
расшифровку не мог
those are the
вспомнить.
people
Спасибо.
you're gonna need? We define ourselves as a narrative first
У меня так знакомый играет в игры через MacBook. Я говорю, ты, конечно, извращенец, тот еще. Ну что, играет и нормально. Единственное, что, говорит, игр там не так много, ну, это и понятно. Кстати, как вариант, может быть, и стоит посмотреть, если особенно там несколько проектов, чтобы затестить их, надо смотреть. Привіт, гарного стріму, а що за презентація, кілька днів я якось дивився. Так, тут зараз привіт, тут зараз презентація з 20-го числа. І вона нон-стопом іде, в залежності від теми. А зараз топ-ігри показують, які були за всі ці дні.
Hot on the heels of opening night live, the future
А у тебя
game show at
happy
Gamescom showcase
MacBook?
exploded onto the scene, hosted by none other than David Hayter and Maggie Robertson, perhaps better
Классная
known to
парочка.
many as Solid Snake from Metal
Хорошо
Gear
ведут
Solid
презентации.
and Lady Dimitrescu from Resident Evil Village. And while they
Это
both
типа
look absolutely
они
stunning,
озвучивали
so
или
the
играли тех
first
персонажей.
world premiere
Вот это
Hell
вот
Let Loose
двое.
Vietnam, which
Тот
launched
Снейп, а та игра у
Dead
Димитреску.
Wolves, a sci-fi heist experience made by the creator of Payday and Payday 2, made an attempt to steal the show.
Вот после Killing Floor 3 очень напоминает игра, движуха вот это вот вся, но без зомбаков просто. Да, игры прикольные, я же скажу. Вот сегодня демонстрируют самые топ-топ, и он реально топ. Последние года полтора все новые почти сразу добавляют, кроме Sony, кажется. Обычно офисная железка. Короче, ты типа как клауд гейминг используешь, я понял. Мне ноутбуки 4060 норм. Не знаю, к чему ты это написал, но хорошо.
Did its now much anticipated release date of 2026. And speaking of anticipation, there's probably no hotter game on the horizon than Resident Evil Requiem. And in our interview with the team at Capcom, we got to see more of what horrors lurk in the dark for this hugely exciting mainline entry.
Ну, конечно, нагрузка, что идет на сервак, у тебя получается. А есть какие-то минусы от GFN? Ну, прям такие реально ощутимые. Там задержка, пинги или что-то еще, только честно.
グレースが立ち向かうクリーチャーの正体をここでお話しすることはできませんが、未知の脅威から生き残るゲーム体験を楽しんでいただけると嬉しいです。
Напоминает момент из этого амнезии The Bunker.
Who dropped a new release date for their upcoming survival and crafting title Lost Rift. You too can explore the unknown on September the 25th later this year. Clowns, Dreams and Guns, not just the name of my new
Трэш я не
album,
понял,
but
когда мы
also
видели.
strange themes explored in upcoming existentialist shooter Dreams of Another. And then the oddity
Поэтому
ramped
они
up
бегло
even
его,
further
наверное,
with
рассказывают.
Pizza Bandit, an intense action game
Да,
in which
GeForce
you
Now.
look to claim bounties, defeat monsters and perfect recipes
Я на
as
изи
you
играл в
jump
шутере, и
through
нет дома,
different
кажется,
realities
50
and
мегабайт.
timelines.
Если интернет
Yes,
слабый,
I would like to make a
пикселит, сейчас
strange
задержка в
translation,
полсекунды.
please.
Ну типа как на стриме, типа, если смотреть, я понял. А все от интернета зависит в большей мере.
staying overnight, and that's the Vanderboom house shown off in Servant of the Lake. Another showcase world premiere whose
Вовка еще пробовал, тоже нормально. Ну, Вовка это такое дело. Тут больше будет вопрос к самой Вовке непосредственно в хабе или в рейде, а так оно нормально. Там даже с топовой железякой в рейде будет. В некоторых моментах проблемно. Процессор долбит и все. Не раскрывает видеокарту. Ограничение 6 часов, если считать это... А что значит ограничение 6 часов? Ты не можешь больше 6 часов подряд играть или за день? За сутки, имею в виду. Я колись ним користувався. GFN? А що перестав? Ну, вот это, кстати, интересно.
Later on in the show, making his triumphant return was Styx, who, thanks to a new
Кстати, я
gameplay
Styx,
trailer,
помню, что-то не
showed off
записал.
what this foul-mouthed goblin can really do in Styx Blades of Greed. This stealth action title with a liberal dose of magic
Купив
and
комп.
mind
Ну, я так и
controlling
думал.
is coming to consoles and PC in fall 2025. Now, if you ever wished your aerial dogfights had
Я
more
чув, там
literal
перезаходити
dogs in
треба.
them,
Подряд,
then you
потом
must have
перейти.
loved
А,
seeing
да,
Blue
ну это не
Blue,
проблема,
a
как
title
по
that
мне.
pays homage to the likes of Star Fox with a huge dose of 90s early morning TV charm. And if you wanted your bounty hunting to have more
Даже если на
partner,
стриме,
then
вообще
you'd
пофиг.
have been blown away by Bounty Star.
Это
Here you
минутное
build
дело
and
по факту.
maintain a mech suit in the wildest of Western settings, slinging guns and ticking off names on your revenge bucket list.
There you are.
Блин, Прагмата так классно выглядит, но мне геймплей не понравился, который показали. Он как будто устаревший кажется. Типа, если бы это было лет 5-7 назад, оно было бы интересно. Так уже столько проектов похожих как будто бы выходило, вот по ощущениям. Направляем члены матч вверх. А что, часто в очереди?
Hugh can then come in with his arsenal of various weapons to shoot at their now exposed weak spots.
Now, as sad as it was to see the show come to a conclusion, there was, of course, one more huge reveal.
Там еще прокачанная переписка, то приоритет ем. Хитрые. Ну как хорошо, очередь, сколько людей или как долго она длится? При платной там очередь 1,5 человека, что нет. Так подписка сама по себе платная, 400 гривен, ты же сказал, какая, ну... Или ты имеешь в виду, там есть какая-то дорогая подписка больше? Так, это страничка в Steam, если что было на фесте. Gamescom.
Now back to Nathan on the Gamescom show floor, who's what are you up to there, dude?
I'm about to head in there to get a hands-on demo with LEGO Voyagers and have a chat with the team behind it. So I tell you what, why don't you come with me?
А, вот это парная игра. Интересно выглядит.
Hi, my name is Carsten Lund. I'm working on LEGO Voyagers at Lightbrick Studios. I was the creative director on the project. We're here at Gamescom, hanging out and showing it to
Подожди, в
the
GeForce Now
audience.
можно использовать бесплатно или что? Я не могу понять. Что значит без подписки минут 5?
So if you haven't heard about LEGO Voyagers, it's a co-op game. It's a puzzle
Здесь
platformer.
бесплатно.
And it's about being a LEGO brick. Which means that you get to
И
play
в чем разница
as
между
a brick,
платной и
humble
бесплатной,
around in the
кроме
environment,
очереди?
connect to studs wherever they're available, picking up other bricks and building with the bricks. So it's a very unique take on how you play with Lego actually in a digital sense.
Я на сказать, что они підписують одного разу чекав 4 години. Камець. Откуда ты столько времени было, чтобы столько ждать?
And watching them having fun, laughing and stuff is just a great feeling. We can't wait to show it to everyone and get it out there in the wild.
Что это?
What we are showing
Discord?
at this Gamescom for players is the introduction
Down
to the
syndrome?
game and the sort of tutorials and stuff. And I can't wait to get them to actually play further in where we start twisting the gameplay a little bit and give more interesting puzzles and stuff, and the narrative as well, right? There's gonna be a story about
безкоштовні
these
кожну
two
годину
friends
треба
that
заходити.
just
О,
breaks
ні, ну це
hanging
слишком
out,
часто.
you know, and having fun and being friends, and they really want to become astronauts, which a lot of bricks actually dream about being astronauts. Yeah, so if you love playing co-op games
При
with a
бесплатной...
friend, or with a parent, or with a child,
А, это ты видеокарты
this game
имеешь
is
в виду
totally
2060 или
free.
360
And if you
или
love
платные
playing
4080?
bricks, just like you remember it as
Ну
a
тогда
kid
во все
on the
проекты не
floor,
поиграешь на
placing them,
бесплатные.
This game is definitely also a thing to try. So LEGO Voyagers coming out September 15th on all consoles and PC. And if you have a friend and you already bought the game, the friend can download the Friends Pass, so you get to play with only one copy.
Ну, короче, как обычно, один качает оригинал, второй Friends Pass, и можно вдвоем играть. Прикольно. Lego Voyagers выглядит интересно. Ну, мы его
Thank you very
видели.
much to the developers over at Lego Voyagers for that lovely chat. Up next, Amy has played Hollow Knight Silk Song and she is absolutely positively desperate to tell you everything about it.
Что его не записал до этого. Отвлекался,
I'm acutely aware that a lot of people would sell their nan to play Hollow Knight Silk Song, and so I've memorized every microscopic inch of what I played at the Xbox booth to spill the tea, or rather the juicy bug guts on what you can expect.
Когда очень сильно хочется поиграть, но прям вообще никаких возможностей нет. Даже типа запирать в окоп не тянет. Это студенческий гейминг.
Was divided into two sections. The first was the Moss Grotto, a presumably early game location filled with lush vegetation and creeping vines that felt similar in vibe to Green Path in the original game. The enemies I found here were mostly crawling grubs and flying insects that aggressively descended on me like ballsy wasps at a picnic. The first boss I discovered, the Moss Mother, was a slightly larger version of these airborne pests, and didn't give me too much trouble at all. At this early juncture, the platforming trials are also welcomingly simple, but one thing I did notice when leaping about is how much more agile Hornet feels in comparison to the Knight. She can grab onto ledges too, which feels like an inverted trustful because your brain wants to be like, I can't make that jump. You can, bro, she's got this. Her bind ability uses her threads to heal, and it charges with hits similarly to the first game. In terms of combat, she's equally as nimble, and you can get those needle attacks in there with absolute precision. Sticking them with the pointy end has never felt so graceful, like it's all one big sharp ballet. And if you played the original, you'll remember that Hornet is a pretty tough boss fight, so it does feel oddly empowering to be stepping into the tiny wee boots of something that previously handed your ass to you. My confidence didn't fare as well in the second area though, the deep docks. This is a kind of steampunky, giant mechanical furnace that you descend into, smashing switches, finding keys to release the mechanisms and gates, and getting totally lost in true Metroidvania fashion. Where is the flippin' cartographer? I met the Forge daughter, whose name implies she might be able to do some weapon upgrades later in the game. The enemies here were better armoured and required a little more thought to dispatch. And at one point I got locked in a frightening liminal space with a barrage of them appearing in waves. And then I encountered Lace.
This is gonna be really hard, Tom. I can feel it.
Suddenly, Hornet didn't feel quite as OP, and you're suddenly reminded that the game is in charge here, not you. Lace was lightning fast, with one particular combo that felt like a 2D version of Melania's dreaded waterfowl dance from Elden Ring. I had a couple of goes and felt like I'd bench pressed enough muscle memory to definitely have her on my third go, but you know, there were a lot of people queuing and I didn't want to be that guy. You know, you can't hog the most wishlisted game on Steam right now, can you? That's a proper jerk move. I'm just being considerate, yeah. Anyway, Team Cherry's engrossing Metroidvania experience has got its little insectoid pincers in me once again, and I can't wait to dive back in.
That was Silk Song, and obviously it looks utterly amazing, and you don't even have to wait that long to play it for yourselves, because it's out in just 2 weeks.
Ну, вообще, странно ждать 7 лет ее, потому что в 2017 только первая вышла, а потом еще выходили DLC-шки. Поэтому, ну, это глупо.
Hi everyone, my name is Sebastian Thomas, and I'm one of the lead community managers of Active Matter.
По-моему, один из DLC... вот Silksong, по-моему, как раз таки должны были бы быть DLC-шкой, а стала полноценной игрой. Что-то типа такого было.
Mind-bending anomalies will twist gravity and space topology right before your very
Shift, hold, burst.
Dozens of players equipped with authentic modern weapons and military gear will clash over the sources of a substance that is known as active matter. The creatures you'll face have also been utterly consumed by the same substance. They can now dash, they can explode, they can fly, they can crawl. They can do all sorts of things, even wait for your lapse in judgment by standing still. Even your fellow operatives, though, aren't safe, because overexposure to that same substance can turn them into the very monsters that you're hunting. Active matter is set in a world that bends the laws of physics, but maintains the laws of ballistics. You'll wield real-world weapons, tactics, and gear, but apply them in places where gravity flips sideways, where bushes don't always stay still, and where enemies from other timelines will lurk inside the abandoned secret laboratories you'll find in your raids. My favorite part about active matter would have to be the ability to hard flank the enemy. And I'm not just talking about ordinary, typical, or standard flanking as you might expect. No. I'm talking about using strategies you simply don't see in other games. A new definition of flanking is created by active matter. No, the enemies are not just around the corner or popping out from behind you as standard flanking might imply. They're clutching on the side of the wall like a spider, or upside down on the ceiling, or tilted at some crazy 45-degree angle to get the perfect, but normally impossible, sightline on you. Experiments with the gravity anomalies, portals, and so much more you'll find to get to these hard-to-reach areas like the underside of a damn floating cargo ship. You can make it so you have a shot anywhere they try to hide, and they would never see it coming. It's multi-dimensional combat at its finest. Active matter is set in a shattered multiverse, where different timelines and parallel worlds are actually a core part of the gameplay and the story. You'll see exactly what I mean when you try out the game for yourself. Do it alone or squad up, play PvP, PvE, or even PvPvE game modes. Active matter is a hardcore military shooter designed to challenge you, and also leave you craving a lot more, as it has done with me. Active matter is already available for pre-order on PC for the closed version, which will be released on September 9th. This closed version is only available via the Gaijin store, but the Steam and console versions of the game will arrive in 2026.
Ну, это сомнительно выглядит, конечно, но типа для теста можно.
Or purchase one of the editions and play earlier via the Gaijin store.
Зачем он сказал, что есть предзаказ, я его не вижу. Есть английский и русский. Почему нет украинского?
I can't lie to you, being at Gamescom is maybe the highlight of my life. Even better than that time I won the Nobel Peace Prize. But I want you to feel like you've been to Gamescom, but without all the bad stuff, you know, without the feeling of shame and paying $6 for a Diet Coke. I just want you to experience the best of the best. So that's what this is. I, Nathan Byrne, your humble presenter, have gone around all of Gamescom slapping stickers on the stuff that is the best. This is the best of the best of Gamescom. That's for you.
Дурачок какой-то.
For one
О,
of the best
классный
things.
косплей.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you very much. You are welcome. No worries.
Тоже неплохо.
Right here, Josh. Get in on the head. And I'd love to give the Baby Yoda one.
Кадешка
Can't put it
прикольная.
on the armor because it will take the paint off. So you're just holding it. Thanks so much.
How many people do you think kept the stickers, and how many do you think threw them away the second you?
Oh, I think everyone immediately threw them away.
It snows.
Best of. Well done, Batman.
Дурастикой занимается.
The most realistically rendered nose I've ever seen, so I give that best of. What a game. What a game. Can't be Metal Gear Solid 3. It's the best.
Do you hear me, Snake?
You come to Gamescom, you want to see a piece of machinery that can plough a field in
О, PUBG
0 to
сзади
60
вижу.
seconds. This bad boy's doing it.
Прикольно.
I'm gonna give all of these to Batman. No, I'm giving all of them to Batman, Josh.
We only have a certain amount.
Look, did you watch Jeff's show? Batman was amazing.
It was easily the best thing in the show.
You can't stop. I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give all of them to the big Batman. Because Batman, Batman. For some reason, SpongeBob's nose doesn't have the award on it anymore, so we're going back in. His nose. Boom, best nose at Gamescom. Well done, SpongeBob.
Короче, лишь бы время затянуть. Прикольно. А как она орет, если у нее рот должен был занят?
Best face hugger of Gamescom. Well done.
Не знаю, что пап, не слышал никакой информации вообще про них. Может, просто рекламный стенд. Тоже
Okay, so to
возможно.
give you a bit of context here, myself and Josh from the FGS team queued for roughly 10 minutes to get into this Stranger Things haunted house experience. So we get in and it's spooky and there's a big demogorgon and then... Is that it? so funny. Best carriage of Gamescom. Yeah, this on there. Best of. So everyone knows.
А всех сообщений это каких всех?
Servant of the light. Look at this. Thank you so much.
Ну так там же этот лицехват, он же сразу в глотку засовывает то, что само собой ты кричать не сможешь. Максимум какие-то звуки там носом издавать.
I've got to get back to Scotland like ASAP. I've got a dentist appointment, so if we could get moving, that would be great. There you have it, the best of Gamescom. So hopefully you feel like you've been now and you didn't even have to wait 20 minutes to use a toilet. Lucky you. Next up, we've got something very special, an interview with the team behind Final Fantasy Tactics, the EVO
Ты общаешься с кем-то, но не вижу этих сообщений. Ну, перво-наперво посмотри, настройки чата у тебя выбраны все. Или же интересные сообщения. Надо выбрать все. Вот. И второе, у меня же стрим на два канала, на IT и на игровом. На игровом ты в самом чате не видишь, но видишь, у меня на экране выплывают. У меня трансляция на два канала сейчас идет.
After playing through it and feeling this way, I talked to my hero here about that, and I mentioned that to him, and he said, well, why don't you just adjust the feature so it's easier for you to understand? So I went ahead and I put a lot of work into fine-tuning this and making it something that is probably more easy to understand overall.
What do you think makes you so special? Birth? Blood? We fight to end the aristocracy, not to become it.
So we've done quite a bit of fine-tuning to the different stats of the characters. And of course, from the original version, we had Final Fantasy VII's Cloud appear as a guest character, and he will be making his return as well. And some people might remember that Cloud was a little hard to use and utilize within your party, but we have made some different tweaks that do improve upon that. And in order to use his special limit abilities, you needed a specific sword. But luckily for the Evilist Chronicles, when Cloud joins your party, he already has the sword. So I hope that everyone will play and go and discover what is where the original sword was.
There is a dangerous individual aboard. I have to stop him first.
Star Trek Infection is not just a VR game, but it's also something we haven't really seen before.
Star Trek Infection.
A survival horror set in the Star Trek universe. You play as a Vulcan Starfleet officer sent on a mission aboard the USS Lumen, but something has gone horribly wrong. There's no crew in sight and an unknown entity is infested the ship.
Потому что, типа,
now it's
VR-проект
inside your
какой-то.
body, physically mutating you and unlocking dangerous new abilities at the cost of your sanity.
Starfleet intelligence was right. There's a traitor on board. Maybe there's still a chance to save this ship.
To be fair though, I mean, if I could shoot tendrils out of my hands and zip about like an intergalactic Spider-Man, I'd happily trade my sanity. It wasn't really doing anything for me anyway. There's a whole load of stuff here that Star Trek fans are going to love. You can Vulcan nerve pinch your enemies like an evil masseuse and set your phasers to stun or kill, whichever takes your fancy. Star Trek Infection is coming to Quest 3 later this year, with a Steam version to follow soon after. So if you've always dreamed of combining horror, VR and Star Trek, then you can make it so. Did that reference make sense? I hope that made sense.
Up next, we're going to speak to the developers over at Reanimal about their
Reanimal это интересно.
I'm Dave Mervick, I'm the narrative director at Sarsha Studios. We're here at Gamescom showing off our demo for Reanimal. Reanimal is about a group of 5 orphans, and you play as 2 of them, these siblings, whose job it is really to get around by boat and on land from the different areas of what was once a nice place, tracking down your old friends, rescuing them, and obviously avoiding the unpleasantries along the way.
Получается, и Little Nightmares 3 ждем, и Reanimal ждем.
The core of this whole world and during their backstory is a violence, and violence really is seeping through the pores of this game, in the music, in the way that we illustrate the world, and in things the kids face. And bit by bit, as you rescue each of your friends, you build up a picture of what it is that's gone on between these kids and why they need to get back together again.
Просто брат и
These children are
сестра.
actually older than the characters that in our previous games, in Little Nightmares, for example. But there's a balance that we like, because we like to create these quite unpleasant worlds, and Reanimal is a much darker tale. But when you drop kids into the center of this, into a world that doesn't like them very much, there's a nice kind of juxtaposition there. When you've got these kids facing darker themes, then maybe that pushes it a bit too hard. But now we've got multiplayer, then that brings the needle back to that sweet spot that we like to strike without being too charming this time around. What we've got in the Gamescom demo is from a very early part of the game. It's not from the very beginning, but you've just landed your boat on the shore of this first main location outside a big industrial mill, and your job really is to go towards the danger and try and find your friend, and then make it out past the first main monster of this area that you encounter, called Sniffer. Reanimal for us is the next evolution of our studio. We want people to recognize, you know, what the kind of games that we like to make. We're trying new things, that we're bringing them at a darker world, that they get to play together at last. The camera as well, we've done so much work on the camera so that players feel scared together. It's been one of our guiding lights since the very beginning of the project. The Gamescom demo and the full game of Reanimal is fully playable in single player, couch co-op and online co-op. Reanimal is coming Q1 2026 to PC, PlayStation 5,
имеется в виду все это,
so wishlist now.
Первый квартал 2026 года.
Oh yes, my friends. Yes, yes, yes. It's time. Now, I have been banging on for years about how much I love the escalators here at Gamescom. No, you have weird hobbies. In fact, I love them so much that I have wrangled together a ton of developers to take part in an interview with a twist. And that twist is that you only have the time it takes to ride one of these escalators here at Gamescom 2025 to tell me everything about your game. This is Escalator Pitch. I'm here with Luigi, who's going to tell you everything you need to know about By Sweet Carol. Let's go.
So By Sweet Carol is a 2D animated game completely made by hand, and the game is about Lana Benton looking for her best friend Carol and discovering what happened to her. But in the meantime, Mr. Kim, the villain of the story, is gonna chase her and hunt her down. So it's up to the player to discover what happened.
And when is it out?
Soon.
Oh, that's been Escalator Pitch. Here with Sarah is going to tell you everything you need to know about Star Trek Voyager Across the Unknown. Let's go.
So, have you ever wanted to kill Harry Kim?
Yes.
Now's your chance. So, in our new game, you can slip into the role of Catherine Janeway and manage Voyager and its crew yourself. And you can make different decisions than she make back then.
So you can reshape the story of Voyager?
Yes, you can.
Amazing.
Yeah, and it will be out on console and PC soon.
That's
Wishlist it now.
I'm here with Saffron, who's going to tell you everything you need to know about Cappy Castaway.
Cappy Castaway is an adorable capybara adventure game where you play as a capybara and a crow that have been washed away to a mysterious island after a flood. There are lots of mysterious animals that you can meet, and you can make soup in our new demo. You can wishlist it right now on Steam, and it's coming out in 2026.
I hope you won't mind me saying, that sounds super. But that has also been Escalator Pitch. Yes, I said I'm here with David, who's going to tell you everything you need to know about Silica. Let's go.
Silica is a sci-fi game when we are combining two genres together, real-time strategy and first-person action shooter. You fight over the planet of Baltarus against aliens or against humans if you are an alien.
Ooh, amazing stuff. And when can people expect to play it?
Well, they can already play it. It's out in early access and you can check it out on Steam.
ранний доступ есть.
That's been Escalator Pitch. I'm here with Tivo, who's going to tell you everything you need to know about Eversiege. Let's go.
So in Eversiege you play this badass armor to liberate Bastion, and for that we mix together well-known genres, the level action of MOBA, the management of RTS, and the replayability of roguelikes.
Надо будет обратить на нее внимание, она выглядит любопытно.
Переважно
спальні відгуки. Так, кстати, игра вышла 3 травня 2023.
World of Tanks Heat is
Похоже на Titanfall 2 пишет.
You select your agent, customize your tank, and then take it to fast-paced 10v10 battles in familiar game modes like domination, conquest, or kill confirmed. Wish this us now and get ready for a World of Tanks you've never seen before.
That sounds
Очень
amazing. And
интересно,
that, my
очень
friends, has been
интересно.
Escalator Pitch.
I'm here with Luca, who's going to tell you everything you need to know about Bloodgrounds. Let's go.
Bloodgrounds is a gladiator turn-based tactical game. It has city management and team management. It's based on the Heroes of Might and Magic and all the great strategy games.
Тут есть
Yeah,
от
it's
первого,
set in a Roman Empire with
и от первого лица, и от
fantasy
третьего
twist.
лица.
And please play the demo and wishlist, yeah.
And it's out this year. That
И
was
вообще,
Mac, who's
как
going to tell you everything you
градостроение.
need to know about Last Flag. Let's go.
Last Flag is the first ever real capture flag shooter where you can hide the flag anywhere on the map with your team of 5, find the enemy flag, bring it back to your home base, defend it for 1 minute to win it, all while capturing radar towers to help you by eliminating search areas on the map.
FGS and RTS.
And you can play it free next week on Steam. Last Flag.
That's been Escalator Pitch. I'm here with Eric, who's going to tell you everything you need to know about Coins, Crowns, and Cabal. Let's go.
I'm Eric from Magni Games. We're making Coins, Crown, and Cabal. It's an economic, political, and trading online simulation, and you take on the role of a simple
Я, кстати, на
merchant
игровом
as you
канале
turn a
выложу
rundown
вам
settlement into a thriving,
игру.
medieval empire.
Oh, that sounds amazing. And when is the game out?
It's out next year, and put it on your wish list.
Amazing stuff. That has been Escalator Pitch. I'm here with Kurt, who's going to tell you everything
Dark
you need to know
Switch
about
называется.
Stormforge.
Градостроение на Frostfun
Stormforge is
похоже.
an open-world survival crafting game, and you can
Очень
imagine it
интересно.
as basically
Демка на
take
3
some
часа
French graphic
примерно.
novel, take some
Советую
anime,
поиграть
like
самим.
Miyazaki, put that together with magical storms that are based on real-world tornadoes, just ripping stuff up, throwing it around, and then mix that together and make it really, really easy to mod. Oh, and when's Stormforge coming out? It's coming out in early 2026. And that was Escalator Pitch.
What's up, everyone? I'm Raphael.
This is Andrea.
And we're here to tell you all you need to know about Nine Kings, a game where you have 9 tiles,
99 cards,
999 troops,
9,999 ways to break the game.
and if you buy the game right now, you can help us get to 999,999 copies. If you do that today, we're gonna be eternally grateful. Please take a shot.
Guys, I told you, as good as your game is, you can't steal my microphones.
I'm very sorry.
And that was Escalator Pitch. My kingdom for a set of motorized mechanical stairs. One day, my sweet. Well, while I ride this beauty up to heaven itself, why don't you check out this developer interview with the makers of Anno 117, Pax Romana.
So my name is Stefan Jankowski. I'm the executive producer on Anno 117 Pax Romana that we are demoing here at Gamescom. Anno is a franchise that has been running more than 25 years. We are the premier strategy builder game. So it's a game where basically you are developing your city, your empire, your network of connections and tradings, and to become the most impressive empire inside of the world. And with Anno 117 Pax Romana, we are visiting for the first time ancient Rome. Players seems to love it so far. We are super happy. It's a wonderful experience. That's the moment where you connect with your players.
Ого, чувака спина
and this,
вспотела.
as a game maker, this is something that you want to live, basically. So in Anno 117 Pax Romana, for the first time in the series, you will be able to choose the province where you start. So the starting points can be very different. You can start in Latium, so a place inspired by ancient Rome. You can think about a lavender field and a very nice area, something lovely. Or you can go to something a bit more hard, like the Celtic worlds called Albion. So you can imagine very mystic, rainy. So it's going to be a very different mood.
Что, ты
And
градостроение
you will start
любишь?
from the get-go where you want to start
выглядит
your
прикольно.
province. Also, for the first time, we're going to be releasing on console at launch. So you're going to be on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. So it's going to be something also fresh for newcomers. So what we are bringing here at Gamescom for the first time is Albion. That's the new part of the world
Прикольно, еще
inside
там
of Anno
можешь приходить,
117
играть,
Pax Romana,
пробовать. Прикольно.
inspired by the Celtic world. So you can imagine this misty, very rainy area where you will discover this new province, their inhabitants and their
Если ты
culture,
градостроение любишь, то
everything
сыграй
that
еще в
is
ту, что я
unique to
сказал, она
them,
бесплатная
and how you
демоверсия
will
в
have
Steam.
to, expand your power inside of that region is going to be up to you as a governor to see how to develop the Roman Empire in this
Dark
crazy
Switch.
alien world. So we are super excited to be at Gamescom and for the players to play the game for the first time, but we know not everybody can come to the Gamescom event, so we have a little surprise for them. Starting September the 2nd, on PC, you will be able to download the demo.
О,
and
демка
play
1
from the
сентября
comfort of
будет.
your home. It's
Круто.
going to be a limited time demo, so don't wait too long for that. And you will
Ага.
be able to discover our new world.
Лимитированное время
for
будет.
Anno. Anno 117 Pax Romana is releasing on November the 13th this year, 2025. On PC, PS5 and Xbox.
Dark Switch. У меня на игровом канале вышел сегодня видос на почти на 3 часа.
But don't wait because it's gonna come very soon, and we are super eager to see you in the game.
Just look at this booth, and a huge thank you to the developers of Anno 117 Pax Romana for that wonderful interview. Up next, I had some hands-on time with Cinder City, and here are my thoughts.
1700 или 2600. С ума сойти.
So we managed to play a new game called Cinder City, which you might have seen under the previous game name of Project LLL. It's an MMO tactical shooter where post-apocalyptic Seoul is crawling with zombies and mechs. It's kind of like Call of Duty Zombies meets The Division. You're a father on a mission to find your daughter, and you can do this alone and go full Metal Gear Dad by slapping on a camo suit, turning invisible and sneaking past enemies like the world's most heavily armed chameleon.
По Ктулху было, у меня был стрим, но честно, мне что-то вообще не понравилось. Посмотри по стриму.
So, if that fails, then why not hijack a mech? Because, well, nothing says parental determination like stealing a walking tank or shooting rocket launchers from a bloody helicopter. Oh, and this world isn't just pretty, it is reactive. Procedurally generated content changes based on your situation, meaning no two firefights play out exactly the same. And while there are nicely designed zombies to fight, who, by the way, make the most unnerving sounds, there is also whatever the fresh hell this thing is. I don't know its name, I don't want to know its name, but it's giving off big Rat King vibes from The Last of Us, so I'm just going to call him Arm King. Oh, and one last thing to remember, young Padawan, while you can pilot mechs, there's always going to be a bigger mech. Cinder City drops in 2026 for PC and console, so get ready to save your daughter, save the world, and possibly punch a mech right in the face.
То, что я говорил в Cinder City.
If that wasn't enough action for you, we've got a developer interview with the minds behind Phantom Blade Zero.
О, пойдет. Конечно, боевка уматовая, блин, я кайфую.
Zero is an action RPG, something in between a Souls game and Baldur's Gate or Witcher. But it's like a playable kung fu movie, so all the movements are motion captured by real kung fu masters. So it's a fantasy world, but it's not like an average Souls game. Many people will mistaken us for a Souls game, but we have very clear narrative and very clear navigation on the map. But it's not linear.
Навигация есть хорошая карта, нелинейный.
Smaller scale ARPG. Like one is a Souls game, the other is the hack and slash Devil May Cry or Ninja Gaiden game.
Понятно, Souls плюс слэшер.
Так это похоже на Wukong, да. Fast-paced combat, because we all love different ways to fight and different slower or faster. Just like you play in Call of Duty or Battlefield, there are tons of guns you can choose from, right? So you can feel different range and different fighting style with different guns. So that we call it like gun porn or something. Yeah, we would call our game blade porn. We have 30 main weapons and more than 20 secondary weapons.
Блин, ну сочно выглядит, конечно.
Weapons and two secondary weapons. So all these four combined together to build a set. Soft Snake Swords is my favorite, current favorite. In the surface, you feel this is not a very powerful weapon because compared to those huge blades, but actually it's the hardest. Yeah, if you use it in the right way, and it's very elegant. We guide people to explore the map by story. Story is always most important. There are many accessible ways to navigate people around the map. But nowadays, because Souls genre is very influential, it's super complicated, no directions and everything. We even have a hand-drawn map that will guide you to the next boss. Because our point is to tell a story, to build our original world.
Мы слышали на презентации предыдущей.
Like help the old nannies to find a cat or unclog the toilet or something like that. Because sometimes we feel.
А почему ее до сих пор нету в стриме? Она в Epic Games, что ли?
Maybe 80% of the quests are not something this hero should do. I was myself, and will claim me long before I transform into one of those things. There will be some challenge mode that you can fight the boss you have already defeated, but you can also forbid some of your weapons, ban some of your gears spend some of your accessories. The best scenario will be with only one sword to fight the boss.
Боевочка прям сок.
Phantom Blade Zero is a new game you never see before. So you are welcome to follow our social medias like X, TikTok, and Instagram and YouTube. First day will be on Steam, Epic Game, and PlayStation 5 and 5 Pro. In a normal PlayStation 5, we are targeting 2K on 60 FPS. And for those who has a great PC, and also for PlayStation 5 Pro, we have some advanced graphic effects. So stay tuned to our game and keep your eye on us.
Странно, что они до сих пор не добавили. Ну, ждем.
Releasing date this year within 2025.
Классно, что в этом году выйдет. Ну, проектов хватает на самом деле интересных и в концовке этого года, и в начале следующего. Это прикольно.
That was Phantom Blade Zero. Up next, we're off to the wild world of PVKK, where the devs have something very special to show us.
Imagine for a second that they made a glossy, high-budget Space Invaders remake, and instead of fighting back alien hordes with one button that goes pew pew pew, you instead had all of these buttons. This is PVKK, where you manually control a massive cannon to fend off an ongoing interplanetary invasion. So it's up to you to manage energy generators, scan the skies for alien vessels, calculate fire trajectories, and then execute precise firing procedures to shoot your enemies out of the sky and keep planet Earth safe and sound. But between the invasions, you of course need to find some time to explore your bunker for secrets and maybe even have a cup of tea. It's called self-care, guys. Try it sometime.
Интересно. Не, это тоже интересно.
Those will all be virtual buttons and levers, but because I'm a certified pro gamer who owns 3 copies of Guitar Man, I got to play the PVKK demo on this. A real-life recreation of the missile control desk that I could touch with every single one of my disgusting digits. What a demo it was, though. There's genuinely nothing better than a big mad game with a big mad controller made specifically for that big mad game. I was spinning steering wheels, cranking levers, flipping switches, and smashing that launch control harder than a YouTube like button. And I don't want to brag and say that I was like the best at it or amazing or anything, but I did get a literal medal at the end of the demo, which, you know, I feel speaks for itself.
I'd like to thank my parents. I'd like to thank my man here. Thanks so much.
Now, there's no denying that the version of PVKK you play at home is going to be very different to the experience I had, but I've got no doubt that that core gameplay loop of targeting, calibrating, and then shooting your enemies out of the sky is going to be just as addictive as the time I spent with it here at Gamescom. No release date for PVKK yet, but it'll be coming soon to Steam, so keep an eye on your radar and be ready to shoot this one out of the sky. And by shoot it out of the sky,
Боже, они еще PVKK, зайдите в Steam, посмотрите, написали игру, все слитно, одним словом, Planet
Your code name for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on.
I am here with the marvelous Rosie Caddick from PlayStation Access. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. We've both played Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater today.
О, украинская будет, кстати, в этой игре, еще и с озвучкой. Прикольно.
Never played the OG.
Неожиданно.
Oh, I loved it. Like literally, as soon as I went in there, seeing all of like the graphics being like updated.
Oh my god, the graphics!
Yeah,
you could see the fibers on clothing.
I couldn't stop looking at when he put like his camouflage makeup on his face.
Yes.
I couldn't stop looking at the makeup on his face.
The texture of it,
like crackled and stuff a little bit.
It's wild.
As you know, makeup or mud. I don't really know how it works.
Speak.
One thing I was really excited also to see was how they were going to do the new codec calls. And of course, with the new character models, I thought it looked really great. You can like flick between perspectives of the characters. Like, you know, when they start off with their face like forward but slightly looking down, and then they can have like to the side
profile.
So literally every time a new character popped up, I of course went through. I
every single mugshot.
Yeah. Did you hold R1 to see the first person perspective in cutscenes?
Yes, I
well
did.
Done.
Is that new?
No, so that is original as well.
Oh, nice.
So
cool.
already it's kind of like a bit of an iconic thing that when you see it, you're like, oh, like always up to the corner just to see like what the first person perspective looks like.
Yeah.
So when it did pop up again, of course I was like, oh, it's back. I've got to see what it looks like in these new updated graphics.
Listen up, Jack. Your mission is to infiltrate Serino Yask in the Soviet mountains, ensure the safety of Sokolov, and bring him back to the west.
I died a fair bit going in. I was messing around with all kinds of stuff. I got killed by a crocodile a few times, or like an alligator in the mud bit, because you have to like wade your way through.
It can be violent.
I did think I could stab it with a knife, which is kind of on me.
Yeah, that's on you.
Yeah, because they were on about how you should make sure that you feed yourself, right? Otherwise your stamina's going to go down, and you've got to hunt wildlife. And I was like,
you know, there's like snakes.
There's wildlife. There is, yeah, because he is a snake eater. Haha.
And I was like, oh, snake in the grass or crocodile in the mud.
Imagine the meat. Imagine the meat on it. That was what I was thinking. That's going to keep me fed for days.
I really liked how the camouflage bar is now at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Which
I wonder why that changed.
Yeah, so literally, usually it used to be on the top right, but I just saw it pop up in like the center middle of the gameplay, and I was like, oh. But it's kind of like worked for me because since you're running around, Snake is in the middle pretty much of the screen, so it's like kind of all in one nice compact space.
Yeah, subtle UI updates, a brilliantly big graphic update, but more importantly, just it feels like it's an iconic game that hasn't lost that iconic flavor and that silliness. So yeah, this is a perspective from someone who's pretty much a noob and someone who's played the OG. So what more could you ask for? Thank you so much, Rosie, for joining me today on the Future Game Show. It's lovely to see you as always.
Yeah, I've had a lovely time.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
Up next, we're grinding, sliding, and choosing a path of violence because this is Denture Attack.
I'm Angel Beltran. I'm the producer and tech designer for Undercoders, and we are showing Denture Attack here at Gamescom. Denture Attack, in a nutshell, is Tony Hawk but with Japanese trains. So you can imagine driving a train, doing these crazy tricks in a Jet Set Radio style art. It's a future version of Japan where there's been a climate disaster and everyone has to live now in these dome cities where air is purified. So basically all the rich people got there, but the rest got left behind outside these dome cities. All the infrastructure of the train railways have been abandoned. So some gangs have taken over them and invented this crazy sport called Denture Attack. In the story, you drive through Japan, meeting all these gangs in a shonen-style adventure. There are some friends, some rivalries, a bit of both with the same characters and stuff like that. Your main objective at the beginning is trying to beat the fastest train in existence, but from there are some nice surprises. So for the core gameplay, we have two layers. The first layer is just the basic driving, as we call it. So you have to move with your train through Japan, going as fast as possible and get it to the end station on time. And on top of that, we have all these stylish layers. So you have to make tricks. Some of them are based on extreme sports games like kick flips, wall rides, greens, and all that. And then we have some more unique train tricks such as double drifting, rail switching, also crazy stuff you've seen in the trailer like driving a Ferris wheel. So the reference, of course, in terms of gameplay, there's Tony Hawk, Jet Set Radio, and those are the games that for us define how a trick-based game has to be. It's also Hi-Fi Rush, Persona 5, and outside games, we also took inspiration from anime, of course, manga like Initial D. Yeah, and also even for the music, we think it's something really important, and we are super happy to be working with T. Lopez for that. So the game is basically a single-player experience. I think what we tried with Denture Attack since the beginning is to keep that surprise factor when you first see a train tricking and jumping and doing all this crazy stuff. But we really wanted these surprises to keep coming, so each level has to feel fresh and surprising. So you start with that train doing tricks, but then you get the Ferris wheel, you get the boss fights that you can see in the trailer, and we just want all this adventure to always keep being as fresh as possible. Denture Attack is coming to PS5, Xbox Series, and PC next year, 2026, and if you enjoyed the trailer and the game, please visit it.
Up next, it is time to rock and roll all over the forces and faces of evil, because now it's time for my jam.
Так, уже больше часа прошло, кстати. На удивление.
Coming up next, we're about to take on the forces of the sludge god themselves. Awesome name, by the way, because this is a developer interview with the minds behind John Carpenter's Toxic Commando.
My name is Tim Willits. I am the Chief Creative Officer at Saber Interactive. Toxic Commando is a 4-player co-op game where you are part of a squad and you fight thousands and thousands of infected in this containment zone. We quickly realized that a lot of the ideas and the design was inspired by the iconic movies of Carpenter. So we reached out to him. He was super awesome. He's given me feedback on story and plot. We have like cool kick-ass John Carpenter music. He's led us to this personality and this uniqueness and this flavor and vibe that the game has, from the main menu to the story to the action. It has that Carpenter style to it. It was very inspirational. If you are a Carpenter fan, look for things that may represent those movies. When you see things, you're like, oh, that's in that movie, or oh, that's in that movie. Just keep your eyes open. Before playing Toxic Commando, you gotta watch 4 movies. You gotta watch Escape from New York, The Thing, the original Halloween, and Big Trouble in Little China. You'll get the horror, you'll get the action, and you'll get the over-the-top.
Nobody half-asses it this time. Ruby.
Ugh. So the first time you play Toxic Commando with your gaming buddies, bring up the menu, look around for some spare parts to arm your turrets and your defenses, and make sure you're geared up before you have to fight thousands of infected. If you've loved playing World War Z and Space Marine 2, along with games like Left 4 Dead and Back 4 Blood, then Toxic Commando is the game for you. John Carpenter's Toxic Commando will launch early 26. It'll be on all your favorite platforms, PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, and we have cross-play, so you can play with your friends on whatever platforms they like.
Нет, не то. Или да?
Thank you very much to the devs over at John Carpenter's Toxic Commando for that interview. Up next, we are speaking to the legendary Suda51 about his upcoming project, Romeo is a Dead Man.
You're gonna die in about 15 seconds! Seriously? Seriously, don't worry. I made this just in case. The Dead Gear Life Support System.
I'm Goich Suda, commonly known as Suda51. I'm the CEO of Grasshopper Manufacturer. On Romeo is a Dead Man, been working as producer and director, scenario writer, and I've also been doing some debugging as well.
From now on, you're Dead Man.
Everybody loves Back to the Future, right? Well, basically what Romeo is a Dead Man is what if in Back to the Future, Marty died at the beginning? What the hell would happen? How would he turn out? What's going to happen to the story? You know, if you want to find out how that would work out, then play Romeo is a Dead Man. What if there was a game where you could time travel to different eras, and there was different zombies in these different time periods, like zombies from 1960s, 1970s, 1980s, and they kind of gradually evolved and have different characteristics and abilities and whatnot. And then I was like, okay, well, what if I just mashed up all these ideas together with Back to the Future and Rick and Morty and time travel and zombies, and yeah, it was pretty difficult to take all these different elements and actually make them fit together, but yeah, we did our best. It's basically sort of a fast-paced action game, like a lot of the games that we've done. And there's a couple things that I'm really looking forward to seeing how players react to. One of them is it's not parry-based combat, it's more dodge-based movement during combat and stuff. I think we did a pretty good job with that. Also, there's, I guess the most understandable way to put it would be basically zombie cultivation. There's not only enemy zombies in the game, they're called rotters, but there's also another type of zombies that are known as bastards, which you grow yourself and in a garden, and they become your pals. And you can sort of equip them and use them as skills, activate them during battle. I think that part in particular, it's something that you're probably not going to find in any other game, and it's pretty interesting and fun to play with, all the different combinations and mechanics. That's something that I'm really looking forward to players checking out and see what they think.
Huh? That was Grandpa's voice. Are you a spirit? I'm on your back.
What?
So, you know, here at Gamescom, we've been meeting with a lot of people from the media, having them, you know, play the demo, doing interviews and stuff like this. So far, the response from people who have played the game has been really good. People saying stuff like, you know, this is the best game at Gamescom right now. This is the #1 title here. May even exist somewhere, as far as I know. But I think it's doing pretty good. Once you start reading the articles and watching the videos that are going to be coming out of this trip here to Gamescom, you'll get a pretty good idea of what kind of game it is, what to expect. So yeah, look forward to it. It's going to be an awesome game. So Romeo's a Dead Man will be coming out next year, probably. And it'll be coming out on PlayStation, Xbox, Steam. We're hoping to get it on Switch too. It's not definite yet. We're still working on it. But yeah, also we're not sure if it's going to be coming out before GTA 6 or after GTA 6, or we might just go all in and release it on the same day. We're not sure yet.
Thank you very much to Suda51 for that amazing developer interview. Up next, we're off to the world of Dying Light: The Beast, where we also spoke to the devs about what makes this latest installment so utterly chaotic.
Прикольно. Ну тут хотя бы проекты почти все время интересные.
I'm Nathan Lemaire. I'm the game director for Dying Light: The Beast. In Dying Light: The Beast, we are playing as Kyle Crane, the returning hero from the first Dying Light. He was actually being held captive for 13 years, and he was being experimented on. So when he escapes, basically he's just seeking revenge against the people that are actually like used him as a test subject. What was important for us at the beginning for Dying Light: The Beast is that we took the best from Dying Light 1, the best from Dying Light 2, and we put it together to create this kind of best experience possible. So you will get back to with a parkour that is more grounded, more physical, more closer to Dying Light 1 feeling. Same is for like the physicality and the hit reaction on zombies. Like we wanted to make a step forward and to make sure that hitting zombies just is fun and, you know, kinda diverse. Like there is no situation that is the same. It's always like kinda renewing itself because of the physics and the ragdolls and so on.
Скидка 80%.
There is also the fact that we wanted to create new settings. With Castor Woods, we have created this unique kinda touristic station located in the Swiss Alps. It's a beautiful zombie apocalypse, I can say, because this is where people would go to vacations before the fall happened. A very good setting as well because it's very diverse, I would say. You have like you have a city, you have industrial park, and some other biomes that make the game always kinda renewing itself.
Как раз вместе первая и вторая часть.
I'm super excited for people to test our new weapons, such as the flamethrower or saw blade launcher. We did put a lot of effort into making this game very satisfying, visually satisfying zombie game and slashing zombie apocalypse.
Season Pass.
The Beast mode is one of our, you know, new feature. Like it features a complete new skill tree, and it's really an ability that grows over time with Kyle. It's also a central part of the story itself. And with the Beast mode, we wanted to have like this kind of very like unleashing power where suddenly you are not a prey at all. Like you are an ultimate predator. Like you can basically full smash zombies, tear them apart completely, use your ability to jump higher, run faster, and it's like really the ultimate kind of ability for Kyle Crane. So Dying Light: The Beast is coming out September 19th on PS5, Xbox One X, and PC.
And there we have it, my friends. That was the Future Games Show Best of Gamescom. Hope you enjoyed it.
We'd like to take a moment to formally apologise to your wallet. But to be fair, it's not our fault all those games look so good.
No, absolutely. Don't come for us. If you want to wish list any of the games in this show or any of our shows, go to the Future Games Show Steam page.
But until then, take care of yourselves and we'll see you soon. Bye!
Все, конец.
Can I go play Lego Batman then?
Yeah, go on then. Go on, off you go.
Be safe. Be nice to the other kids.
He slipped. Oh, he's crying.
Oh, God's sakes. You got plaster.
Go on, let's go. Let's go, Evan.
Хорошая презентация, мне понравилось. Было интересно. Кстати, Dying Light 2 сейчас по скидке в 67%. Сейчас скидосы прям такие лютые. Прикольно. Ну что, как вам? Понравилось? Так, подожди. Довольно прикольно. Димка пришел как раз наконец. Хорошо. По итогу у меня за прошедшую презентацию, это, в принципе, за 19 число выписано 15 проектов. И сегодня я дополнил 4. Ну, это, в принципе, те, которые я случайно не дописал. Ну, как-то так. Мне зашло. Все, ребятушки, всем спасибо. Надеюсь, вам тоже понравилось. Это последний день, когда мы стримим непосредственно эту презентацию. Возможно, игровые стримы еще какие-нибудь когда-нибудь будет. Пока ничего не обещаю. Упор сейчас в IT-проект и офлайн работу. Так что, если будет что-то новенькое, напишу в Телеграме, подписывайтесь, все ссылочки есть. Или оповещу в Инстаграме, в сторис или в посте. Тоже подписывайтесь, все ссылочки есть под каждым видосиком на IT-канале и на игровом. А с вами, как всегда, был Human, и как всегда, кайфовые вам игры. Увидимся. Да. Все. Обиделась?